Hey, morning guys, welcome to Bar Z. My name's Stan, and today we're on a little field trip. We've got a roof mounted blower here that's got some bad bearings, or we suspect it's got some bad bearings. We brought a few commonly consumed parts with us, and we're going to rip it apart and check it out. First and foremost, we don't want anyone giving it a run command from downstairs. We're going to pull a service disconnect, and we're going to go ahead and open it up, make sure it's wired properly, and make sure no one's hot wired it. Even though we wired this back in the day, we still want to double check, make sure no one got in there, and we don't want this thing ever taking a run command while we've got our hands in there. So we're going to double check the safety switch, make sure it hasn't been Mickey Moused, and we're going to get into this thing and rip it apart. Somewhere, just scratch it or something. You got a Sharpie? Give us a little rub there and there. Let me know when you're ready. Give me 9/16. I'm just going to let the camera fly. Okay, next up we're just going to release the tension on the belts a little bit. This is on a swinging mount, pretty simple. And it feels like the customer is over tightened these belts, which is not great for bearings. Okay, so let's dry belts off. All right, we're disconnected from dry belts. Thank you. All right, next up, we're just got a bushing connection to the fan. And I'm feeling some bearing slop or something going on there, so something's amiss down inside. And they were complaining that it was making some noise. So we're going to get these 3 bolts out, and then we're going to use the bolts to separate the bushing and the fan. So, and then we've got 1 set screw, possibly. Yeah, we've got 1 set screw in there. That's it.
There it is.
Okay, so bushing off, our propeller can come off of there. This is what's classified as a multi-wing. That's a variable pitch shiv, and a variable pitch fan. You can change the fan blade pitch within these hubs with a dowel by splitting the hub and changing the actual fan blade pitch. So that's what is known as a multi-wing. Next up, we're doing the bearing housing. I'm going to try to get these out without dropping any bolts down the hole, or dropping the whole cover down the hole. There's two. You got the cover?
Yep.
Okay, I got all the hardware. You can grab the cover anytime. And now we can get to the other side of our belts. I don't know if you can see that or not. We'll hold that there so you can have a good look at the double pillow blocks with a simple shaft, and the lower shiv is wedge mated onto the shaft. So it looks like our lower bearing is the one that failed. And I'll try to show you that here real quick. So our failure was right here. That bearing right there feels really jumpy. I'd say probably our set screws came loose, and that's what started the failure. We're going to put it together with some Loctite and some grease, because that bearing sounds really dry. So I don't know whether this is grease from the factory or anything, but we're going to fix it. You took these. I'll take a 9/16. Grab that bolt. All right, there's your assembly. Okay, so we got our part out, and we've got our failure right here. That's a lower bearing failure, and the bearings are sounding really dry. Don't know whether the factory greased them or not. Top bearing sounds good, but the lower bearing is a chewy. We've got new bearings, which are here. And we brought a new shaft with us, already made up. The only thing we need off of this assembly is the lower shiv, this piece here. And we know we need to get the bushing in flat with the end of the shaft. We'll compare the shaft here momentarily. You got a 7/16 on that impact? I'll take it if you got it.
I got it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And what I'd like to say today is my lovely assistant hands me sockets, but I can't say he's a lovely assistant because his name is Mike. So my ever-present assistant is handing me sockets and stuff today. Maybe I need to get me a lovely assistant. What do you think? Some nice looking scale holders? What do you think, Chuck? All right, so we've separated the bushing here from the shiv, and it looks like we're just going to slide off, no problems. So bushing off of there, shiv off of there. The rest of this basically goes in the trash. The only thing we need off of here is just a couple of key stocks, fitting tight in the shaft, feel really good. But yeah, there's nothing else that we need off of this assembly except the keys. So I'll bring you back for an assembly. Okay, so we're going to unpack the new bearings. and check them, make sure we're of the same size and caliber. I think we got a winner there. I'll check a bolt pattern real quick, make sure we're going to bolt up. They are a different brand, but I think we're good there. So they're doing it with set screws up, and let's take a look at the shaft. Equal. Is it up to release my set screws here? Oh yeah, they're sitting a little proud in there. And this shaft has reliefs for the set screws to drop into. All we want to do is make sure that we end up with the same bolt pattern as this, and we're going to flip it over, match the bolt patterns, and tighten set screws. Because these reliefs in the shaft have a little bit of leeway, so we're going to kind of match them up to the old one. I'm going to get one set right now. I'm going to begin to tighten here and kind of feel my way in. Right there. I'm looking straight down the barrel of that relief. And there it is, I can feel it. Okay, let's check our other one. Unbelievable. And we're going to take a peek down there and find our groove. Thank you, lovely assistant.
Absolutely.
Boy, my lovely assistant sure has a deep voice. Okay. And we're going to feel our way down in that groove there. Pretty centered up there. And I'm not going to gronk on these right now. I'm just going to lightly snug them. And I'm going to put these bearings back to back and make sure the hole pattern is something I can work with. I'm just going to flip over here and take these guys and match them up. It looks like I could do to spread them just a tad. I need to open them up just a little bit. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Take that one as far to that groove that way as I can. And take that one to that groove as far as I can. Tighten and tighten. Okay, and we're good to go back in. Got a good mate up there. Pretty happy with that. Last step, we're going to release these screws one at a time. One drop of Loctite down on the bottom of the hole, a little bit on the set screw, let it migrate around in the shaft, and we're going to go from there. I just so happen to have a bottle of 680 right here in my pocket. That's green Loctite used for shafts. We don't want this happening again. So literally one drop. And that's not always feasible, but we're going to give it the old college try. Sometimes you get more than you bargain for. And the amount of time it takes for me to put this together and get it running, believe me when I tell you that green Loctite is going to sling around inside of that shaft to bearing connection and fill any voids and prevent this from happening again. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Centrifugal force is gonna do the rest. Okay, this is a final tighten. And lather, rinse, repeat out here. Ah, all right, I made it in there. Come on. There we go. Down the hole. Final gronk. Final gronk. Okay, we're ready to put our shiv on. And where's that ball peen? Got a little ball peen over there in that box. I'm just going to tap this key down in the groove. And before I bother putting the shiv on, I'm going to check my bushing, make sure it slides on nicely, which it does. Okay, so we're going to assemble our bushing and our shiv loosely. Just leave them loose, that way we're aligned. And now all we got to do is slip the whole assembly together. And remember, we're taking the end of the bushing even with the end of the shaft. As so. And just hold that alignment when you tighten up. And then all you do is keep rotating back and forth until you've taken the slop out. Okay, we are ready to install. This thing's ready to go back in the housing. Okay, well, you got your double bearings all assembled on the shaft. 2 drops of Loctite. And if you remember, our shiv and bushing was even with the end of the shaft here. We've checked our bearing spacing and we're ready to go back in. I'm just going to give this a quick wipe down and get some of the gunk off of here. And Mike's going to hold my bearings for me. You good? Some bolts. And we get some bolts started here, hopefully. Everything's going to go good. Centering the shaft and the fan and everything, we're on slotted holes here. So you've seen me do it before, where you have to do it before you install the fan. This one is different. We can do it with the fan installed. So we're going to get the fan on, check for center, and we can still get in there and release these bolts and move it slightly back and forth. All I need to do now is get a key in this shaft and assemble the fan and bushing back the way it was. And then we use the propeller itself to center the bearing and move it side to side on these slotted holes. After that's done, we grease and then reinstall the belts, and this thing's ready to get buttoned up. Okay, we're nice and loose. Let's take a propeller. Where's the propeller? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I'll do a key. I'll take a propeller. Go ahead and give me that Allen wrench. We'll go ahead and tighten this down where it belongs. I'll take the butt of that hammer too. Looks pretty good the way she's laying right there. Don't have any tight spots. We're checking around the perimeter. I'm just using my fingers, put my fingers in between it. I don't feel any tight spots, so I think I'm ready to tighten. I'm gonna run my bearings down right now. Well, that feels much better. I'm going to give it a couple shots of grease, my old trusty grease gun. Okay, now we're ready for drive belts and a motor cover. Both of them on?
Yep.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Drawn.
Yep.
All right, all that's left is tighten the motor and put the guard back on here. We've been lucky so far. We haven't dropped anything down the pipe. Huh?
Always.
I don't know. We're not done yet either. You got the motor cover?
Yep.
One. Can't spin the blade. Move around or something. There's something. All right. Move the thumb. Yeah, you got two in it. It's three. I'll take a 7/16 on the impact. that's the end of that. All that's left to do is tighten the drive belts and give it a test. Okay, well, we finished up our fan. We've gone downstairs, we've given it a run command. All that's left to do is flip the switch and let her run. We've got the belts tightened. Part of the issue was the customer over-tightened the belts, and that puts a heavy side load on shafts. Don't do it. You know, your side load a bearing and you side load a shaft like that, and eventually it's going to work its way loose. So let's fire this thing up and let the dust fly before we put the lid on and bring this thing to a close. Clear? That's where the propeller's supposed to sound. Okay guys, thanks for watching. So here we are at beautiful Torrance, California. Over there is the Palos Verdes Peninsula. You'll see Torrance Airport. Directly in front of you is Robinson Helicopter. You can actually see a Robinson pulling into the airport right now. And this is all put to the lovely sound of a 34-inch tube axle fan connected to a dust collector. But another beautiful Southern California day. Right on the other side of that hill is the Pacific Ocean and the lovely Palos Verdes Peninsula.